Hi, my name is Joyce, WBO champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Whatever happened to the sanctioning bodies releasing all their ratings around about the same kind of time at the beginning of every month? Whatever happened to that over the last 3 or 4 months? It seems to have changed. Anyway, the WBO have finally released their new ratings for up and down their own weight divisions, of course, for the month of February. In this video, we're going to talk about the heavyweight division. As always, I'm going to go through the top 15, point out any kind of changes. I think it's a valuable tool for myself and, of course, all of you listening to see what kind of changes, what kind of patterns are happening, to see who's going to be fighting what, where and when in the not too distant future. So make sure you are subscribed. It's free to do so, because I believe I'm the only person here on YouTube that actually does this throughout all the sanctioning bodies. Anyway, this is for the WBO. I know not everybody tends to watch this particular one compared to the other sanctioning bodies. I don't really know why people don't like the WBO so much. Is it because of their affiliation with Bob Arum and Frank Warren? Who knows? Anyway, here's the top 15. Oleksandr Usyk is the WBO World Heavyweight Champion. Yes, he also holds the WBA and the IBF. And if you want to include the IBO, you can do, because he holds that one too. Number 1, from the United Kingdom, the Juggernaut, the former 2016 Rio silver medalist. Could that be overturned to gold? Well, there seems to be talks going on about that. Anyway, he's the WBO mandatory challenger, Joyce. Number 2, former WBO World Heavyweight Champion from New Zealand, Joseph Parker. Number 3, from Cuba, Frank Sanchez. Number 4, the former unified 2-time World Heavyweight Champion from the United Kingdom, Anthony Joshua. Number 5, from the United States of America. If you asked him, he'd say Mexico. But Andy Ruiz Jr., the former WBO World Heavyweight title challenger when he fought Joseph Parker. And, of course, the former unified World Heavyweight Champion, Andy Ruiz Jr. Number 6, from the United Kingdom, Daniel Dubois. He's currently in line to be fighting Trevor Bryan for WBA regular World Heavyweight Championship. Number 7, from Cuba, former 2-time World Heavyweight title challenger, King Kong Luis Ortiz. Number 8, from the United States of America, former cruiserweight, Michael Hunter. Number 9, the former silver Olympic gold medalist, Zili Zhang from China. I say former. Hey, I suppose the title that you always keep, don't you? Anyway, number 10, from Russia, Evangel Romanov, the Deontay Wilder slayer in the amateurs, where he beat up Deontay Wilder. Number 11, from Australia, Dempsey McKean. Number 12, from Croatia, Filip Herkovich. Could well be the IBF mandatory challenger. Maybe, if he defeats Zili Zhang. Number 13, the former European heavyweight champion from Germany, Ajik Kabiel. Number 14, from Turkey, Ali Eren Demirzian. Number 15, from the Ukraine, Vladislav Sirenko. So there you have it. That is the top 15. So let's start off with Vladislav Sirenko in at number 15. He was there last month, of course, from Ukraine, undefeated fighter, 19-0, 16 of those by knockout. He's fought a couple of okay fighters, although it would be interesting if Oleksandr Usyk defeats Anthony Joshua in the rematch, and if he's able to have a voluntary, unlikely, but if he does, will he take on his fellow countryman in Sirenko? That'd be interesting. I'd love to see Sirenko take on somebody in this top 15 to try and justify a top 15 position. That's my thoughts. But I suppose the only real change is number 3, Frank Sanchez. He's been bumped up by 2 positions, from number 5 to number 3. Why? Don't know is the answer. He hasn't had a fight since last month, so I don't know, okay, why that's happened. But Andy Ruiz Jr. is bumped down from number 3 down to number 5. Why? Maybe because he hasn't had a fight recently. Who knows? Anyway, that is pretty much the changes. Of course, number 4, Anthony Joshua. Is that the right position for him? No, of course not. It is disrespectful for the WBO to put him there, no doubt. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter. He's got that rematch with Oleksandr Usyk anyway. Hopefully that all goes ahead. Hopefully we find out a date, venue, etc. very, very soon. Let's hope so. But for me, I don't have too much of a problem with him being around there, only because he has that rematch. I would like to see some of these people fight each other. I think there's too many fighters here who are not really fighting those around them. Of course, you do have Filip Herkovich. Again, he will be fighting Martin Bakole. But again, he'll be fighting Zili Zhang. My apologies. It's Tony Yoka that's going to be fighting Martin Bakole. But Filip Herkovich will be fighting Zili Zhang, apparently, and that'll be for the IBF official mandatory position. So I suppose them two are actually fighting each other. Anybody else here, nobody's really fighting each other. Nobody. I mean, I'd like to see Dempsey McKean take on, say, Joseph Parker. That would be a, was it Transmanian, whatever you call it, clash? New Zealand and Australia. Why not? Why not? But again, there is talks that maybe Joseph Parker could be fighting Joe Joyce next. That'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Number 1 versus number 2. And you do have to give big props for both of them taking that fight, if they do. And especially Joe Joyce for risking his mandatory position, where he could just sit on it and wait. But if he does fight Joseph Parker, big props. But everybody else that is not fighting each other, Luis Ortiz, who's he going to be fighting? Probably my next door neighbour who's a bin man. May well be him. Evangel Romanov, number 10. Now, Romanov, as I said before, he's the guy who's quite famous for putting Deontay Wilder down in the amateurs. But what's he doing at heavyweight? Not too much. In fact, he's the WBC Bridgerweight mandatory challenger to Oscar Rivas. So we have to wait and see if that fight happens next. But I understand that Rivas does have a voluntary if he wants to take it. But if not, we'll get to see Romanov versus Oscar Rivas. Everybody else, please just fight each other. That would be great. But of course, there are some fighters out there who maybe should be in the top 15. I know some people will say, well, where's Tyson Fury? Well, he's WBC World Heavyweight Champion, so he's not going to be ranked in this particular organisation. Dillian Whyte, he's the WBC Interim World Heavyweight Champion, so of course he's not going to be ranked here either. Yes, of course, there are going to be some other names as well. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. Yes, it is pretty much the Frank Warren and Bob Arum belt. But anyway, that is the new rankings for the month of February 2022. Like it? Don't like it? Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.